Hello, CODENUM this side, and in today's video, I'm going to show you some basics of Unity game engine, how to navigate in this engine, and some basic components widely used during game development. So for today's video, I'm going to use the Unity 2017.4 version, but these things are common in every version, so there will be no problem with other versions too. So let's open Unity. So I have opened a default project. A project is a file in which a game, the level, the 3D models, the sounds, the code and everything used in a game is stored in a package, and the package is called a project. So when we open Unity, this this screen comes, and here are many options you can see. So let's starting from this center screen. This is called the scene view. So in a scene, to move in the scene, just right click the mouse button and then use the WASD keys to move like a first person camera. Okay, cool. So a scene view is a place where the level of a game is created. It is a big place, and here a level of a game can be created. Any 3D models, any sounds and lights can be added here to make a level of a game. Okay, you can see here two objects. It is added by default. It is called the main camera and it is called a directional light. Okay, left of that it is the hierarchy tab. Now you can see it is written untitled because this scene is not saved still now, but if I save this scene, then the name will be shown here. Below that you can see that it is written main camera and a directional light, and if I click this main camera, the main camera in the scene view gets highlighted. So these two sections are connected. Also if I click the directional light, it will also get highlighted. So any object in the scene view is also listed in the hierarchy tab. To create any new object, just click the create button or right click in the empty space and then choose what you want to add. If I add a cube, then I added cube and it is here in the scene view and also in the hierarchy tab. Okay, after that, this lower portion, it is the asset tab. Now an asset tab contains all the 3D models except the things given here by default by the engine. Other any 3D models or image or texture or anything we add from outside is first listed here, and then we can drag and drop in the scene or the hierarchy tab. So an asset window contains any types of 3D models or sounds or materials or code or anything. It contains here, and this left small box is nothing but a small view of the asset window. If I create a empty folder, to create it just right click and then go create, and here folder, let's name a new folder. So you can see that under asset it is written new folder. If I click it, it enters here. You can come back here. Now right side of here, it is the inspector tab. It is very important tab because you may have noticed that when I click these things, this tab shows different things for different objects. So for the cube, each of this thing is called a component, and here you can see add component written. So you can click here and there is a big list of components in the Unity engine. You can add anything from here and it will be listed here. A code is also called a component in Unity. Now there are bunch of different components, and to describe all of them will take a lots of time, so I will just describe some of them which are used widely. Starting from this transform component, this component stores the position, rotation and scale of an object. The x data will change the x position of this cube, the y will do the y, and the z will change the z. The rotation will rotate the cube in x axis, y axis, or z axis. The scale will also change the sides of the scale in the individual axes. Now, to reset all these values to the default one, just right click on this component and then press reset. For any component, you can just right click and press reset, and all data will be changed to a default one. Now, after that, this main camera has a component called the camera component. So a camera component is such a component through which we see the game in runtime. If I add the game view, to add it, just press the project or any tab and just add tabs here, game view. So this is the game view which we will see if I play the game, and we will see the game through this camera component. If I turn it off, it will show no cameras rendering. So it is very important. After that, here is directional light. A directional light, or any light component, will affect some or all the objects in a scene by a lighting data. I will describe this light component later, because there are many different things in light component. Many of them are not used, many of them are used in specific things, so describing it now is of no use. After that, come to a cube. Here is a box collider. Now, a box collider or any collider, there are many different types of collider. To see them, just go to component and physics, and you will see a box collider, sphere, capsule, mesh, wheel, or terrain colliders, and each of them are just colliders, and a collider is such a component which applies collision to that object. If I create another cube, if it's created here, then these two cube will collide if they, because they both have the box collider attached to them. If one of them don't have it, then they will not collide. So a collider is a important component. After that, here is a rigid body component. Now, a rigid body components basically adds gravity and other dynamic collisions to an object. So now the rigid body component has its use gravity box tick true. So if I play the game, then you will see the box falling down. So it's falling down. It will fall off. So exit the game. If I create another cube and place it below it, then it will just fall and stick there, because it has both the rigid body and the box collider attached to it. The rigid body actually applies collision, and the box collider collides with an object. These both components are connected to each other and are necessary for a collision to occur. If I remove it, then they will just go through it. Okay, delete it. And to move the object in the scene view, just use these three buttons or lines to move them in the individual axes. This is Z, red is the X, and green is the Y. Now here are 6 buttons. The first one is nothing but, if you press the left button, it will just move here and there, not here and there, just sideways, strafe type of button. After this is the move tool, which I used before. After that, it is a rotation tool, and this rotation tool you can use to rotate the object in the individual axis, and the scale tool is used to scale the object in their individual axis. It's just a transform tool in the scene view. And their shortcut keys: for move tool is W, for rotation is E, and for scale is R. Now these two buttons are not needed now because they are used in 2D game development. It is a rectangle tool, and it is not in 2D, it is a merged up version of this move and the rotation tool. So I don't think what is the use of this thing, but it's given in the engine. Now these two buttons is like the global. When it is in global, then these three axes will always face in the x-axis, y-axis and x-axis, y-axis and z-axis of the world, but not of the cube. But if you press the global, it will change to local, and now you can see the cube x-axis is in the top, the z is in the front, and the y is in the left, whereas the global is something else. And the center is not seen now because it is one cube, but if we use different objects and merge them up, then the center of that individual object on the center of the whole object is changed by this thing. Okay. So I keep it global, but you can use it anyway. If you just want to move it like this, then this local button is more good, but if you want to move it in the world axis, then this is much better. Let's reset it. And to play the game, just play this, to just press this button and the game will be played like this. So this is all the basics of a Unity engine. There are more advanced many things which can be done in this game engine, but these are some of the basic things everyone should know while using this game, while using this game engine. So for today, up to this, I hope you like this video, and if you did so, then please like the video and subscribe this channel for new this type of videos, and thanks for watching.